Welcome back to the Charismatic Voice. One of the best things about running this YouTube channel is getting to discover new bands through you. Today's choice was a finalist in our patron poll for multiple months, and it finally won this last month. It features a prog metal band from Houston, and I've been told that the lead singer's voice has a lot of soul in it. I am very excited to find out what they sound like. So let's get to it.
I'm drowning in your sorrow, in the belly of your craving, in the darkness of your despair. I'm flowing face down. Can you take me to the ocean side? Can you take me to the water's edge? See the
I wouldn't have necessarily put her voice together with metal, but I am loving this combination, especially the progressiveness, the sort of darkness, and the piano match with her voice is really an extraordinary combo. Cami is our lead singer's name. She has a sound that has like a little bit of R&B in the roots, right? That's a little bit of that soul that I've heard people mention when they mention her as well. I love that she's singing in this lower register with still a lot of cut in her sound. I think sometimes we just want metal to be like blasting out loud all the time. And there's something soothing in her sound and also just really dark in the quality that seems to match the overall timbre at this moment. She also has something primal in her tone quality that reminds me a little bit of Rihanna. So really, really cool timbre, lots of mixtures of great things. I want to go back to the beginning and listen again.
I'm drowning in your sorrow, in the belly of your craving, in the darkness of your despair. I'm flowing face down.
It's even in those first 4 lines, she's choosing to do so many interesting things with stylization, with directions of the melody. I want to go back and point out a couple of the things in here. Well, that swell, backward soul was really interesting too at the beginning.
I'm drowning in your sorrow.
So she's sorrow. She's giving a sort of offset where she's using an extra vowel in there, sorrow, and even a little W glide to give an extra sound at the end of this.
I'm drowning in your sorrow.
It's like a little shadow vowel after the W, sorrow. You guys have heard me talk about shadow vowels before. They tend to happen after consonants, like it's done in Italian a lot. If I say Lord and I have an after the D of that, that's a shadow vowel. So we have an like UH after the W there, shadow vowel.
I'm drowning in your sorrow, in the belly of your craving.
And right there, she does a little break in her voice where she accentuates a shift in register. Cool.
In the belly of your craving.
Between cray, right there.
In the darkness of your despair.
I like the vibrato in that too.
I'm flowing face down. Can you take me to the ocean side? Can you take me to the water's edge?
It's a very full-throated sound, meaning I feel like there's a lot of space in her vocal tract, really enhancing the depth of her sound.
See, the devil called me here. Says my name like a story.
Playing with that break again. That's cool.
Holds my blood on the tip of her tongue. As she pulls me down to hers. In the dark, but glowing, but glowing. Can you take me to the ocean side?
Wow, this is... It does feel haunting. It feels like you're almost getting lost in a dream of some sort. It makes sense for a name like Oceans of Slumber. There's a softness in this, which almost feels like dreamy metal, right? And the darkness of it. Oh, so curious. And I just... It's so interesting to hear her voice in this mixture. It feels like I've got a little Southern gospel mixed in, R&B. There's just lots of little hints of other genres, and then the way it's mixed in here is truly intriguing me.
Blood on the tip of her tongue.
Oh, I loved that because of the way she closed the NG. That's a nasal consonant, meaning that the sound completely is exiting through the nose. Your tongue essentially blocks off the sound from coming through your mouth, even though your mouth is open. The tongue is closing off the sound waves, so they have to exit through your nose.
Holds my blood on the tip of her tongue. As she pulls me down to hers. In the dark, but glowing, but glowing.
It's beautiful.
Can you take me to the ocean side? Can you take me to the water's edge? Can you make these memories come to life? Make them come to life, yeah. And reveal what's hidden deep inside me.
Listen to the way that that this chorus is produced. The U's that have more vocals layering of it, and basically some backings there as well. They're panned out further, so they've got a bigger stereo image. And then her voice is dead center, so you know that that's the lead and that's what you're attracted to, and that those are the backings.
Can you make these memories come to life? Make them come to life, yeah. And reveal what's hidden deep inside me.
I love the way it sounds like she has a lot of power available, but instead of belting it out here, it feels like it's powerfully contained and relished. It's really a beautiful tone.
Can you make these memories come to life? Make them come to life, yeah. And reveal what's hidden deep inside me. You give birth to this longing. Long thorns made of stone. Like you eaten from the sky. Pitch black, bleak and night. She sees everything. Deep inside me, I crawl to the ocean side.
Whoa! I didn't expect her voice to be able to narrow that much when she went up to a belt. That is very promising for her vocal longevity. That's exciting. I'm just really loving the different chapters, the progressive nature of this. I guess I feel like it is in a dream state. There's a journey that's you're moving through. It's very just pleasant to listen to and absorb.
Black, bleak and night. She sees everything. Deep inside me.
right there, when she goes up to that high belt, that's a kind of thing where a singer can start to feel more fatigue when you're essentially creating that much sound with really the heaviest mechanism of the voice still engaged. It creates a lot of contact force in the vocal folds. So when they're going wacka, 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 meaning that they're vibrating together to create a pitch, to create this kind of sound, you have more thickness in the vocal folds. If she were to flip into her head voice there, instead of keeping it in that lower register, the vocal folds would essentially thin out, and that would create maybe one of those more pristine or ethereal kind of sounds that we associate with head voice. But instead, she's keeping it in that thicker production, and that means that they're slamming together with a little bit more force and more contact, but she's leaned out the sound, so I don't hear a wideness to it. I hear instead a feeling of, it feels like this essentially when the feeling is correct in that belt. And that means that she's figured out how to go up without making it too thick and really endangering that longevity. It's very, very exciting to hear her do this because the lower part of her voice has been extremely open, extremely full, extremely thick in sound. And to go up and slender out without flipping into head voice is really, really tricky.
Everything.
And we've got some nice sustained lines here too. It sounds like she's got really good support. I also just dig the way the song is shifted, and it feels like we've got a little more power metal starting to come into this sound overall. It's, the intensity gain is really intriguing, and also the music video is really, really beautiful.
And screaming, I have myself to blame. Demented and screaming, I have myself to blame.
There's that thing she's doing, the crack where she's playing with the break in her voice. I've heard her do this several times now. I feel like it's part of her signature style, and it has that R&B element to it. Especially, I think I'm not as used to hearing that in metal or progressive music, and I'm digging the flavor it lends to this sound.
I have myself to blame, demented and screaming, I have myself to blame.
It's like a cry, essentially.
Where she might be. I'm dying to be.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Where she might be.
I love the power that I hear in the music, and also from reading the lyrics ahead of time, the emotional power behind them. And then in the video, you just see a ton of emotional power as well. It all works together hand in hand, and I guess there's so much beauty, I think, in that kind of emotional power. It also has that darkness surrounding it everywhere as well. This is complex. Oh, I feel like I feel like I would need another 10 years to really sink my teeth into this a lot further. There's a lot happening in here. Thank you, all of you who've been recommending them. This is delectable. What? Whoa! There's just so many like twists and turns in here. This like just this wall of percussion, of drums, and then all of a sudden the drop out of it and the space is just, that's such an enormous shift. Whew. Okay, it works perfectly with the lyrics. So in that part that felt so intense with this wall of sound, it's soaking in the aftermath of what we are. You feel that intensity of emotion and the intensity of the music. It's just blasting, right? And then when there's a drop there, it almost feels like you get suspended in the sound. And the lyrics are, I float face down. It makes so much sense musically to put that with those lyrics. It makes me really curious what came first, the lyrics or the music, because it's a perfect marriage. Cool effect on her voice there. Whoa. Wow. The way that we have different acts in this song, and they're so distinctive, both in the musical composition and the vocal timbre and lyrics. To me, it almost feels like we've had an opera condensed into 4.5 minutes, and we've been fed this bite-sized story. It's exquisite, and I love the way that Cami brings so many different vocal timbres to it. She tells the story very well, and I love that she's got a different timbre than I would have expected to hear in metal. It's very intriguing, and I'm really curious to hear more of their music. They just released an album this summer. I think it was in July of 2022. So I'm going to be checking that out. I hope that you will too. And if you would like to see some more patron choices analyzed, you can check out this playlist over here. May you fall more in love with music every day.